Well, I feel like an idiot. I've just found out something really, really important about Doom the Dark Ages, and I want to make a video basically so you don't make my mistake. This is to do with 100%ing the game and just trying to avoid resetting all of your progress. So if you want to get all the weapon skins and all the gold and all of those plushy little cuddly toys, here is something you definitely don't want to do and make my mistake, which is never reset the level or restart the level that you're on. When you restart the level, you basically reset all of the collectibles you've got during that level up until that point. So, you know, all the rubies or the wraith stones, that all goes. The other thing that the flip side of that is actually that you can quit out of a level once you've got the collectibles you're after. So for instance, if you pick up this ruby and then you quit the level, that is fine, that's locked in and that's saved. But never restart the level like I just did, which made me feel very stupid because I just reset all of my collectibles to 0 and I had to start again. So that's pretty much the reason I wanted to make this video. But then I thought, hey, while I'm making this video, I might as well just share a bunch of tips as well. And another tip that I want to show is that when you go back into a level you've already been in, you can use all of the weapons and all of the skills you've unlocked up until that point. So as you can see, I've gone back to the first level and I have my weapons that I've got since that level to use on it. Now obviously this makes collectible hunting that much easier because we are fully upgraded now, and you can just access all of the areas and enemies won't stand in your way. The things I'm mostly looking at when I'm going after the collectibles are these question marks, because these always represent you know, a weapon skin or a toy or an Easter egg, which are really, really nice. But also definitely just use the map and pay attention to that because that's really useful. Things to note as you're looking at the map is that yellow doors, these represent places that once you go through them, there's a loading screen and it's a point of no return. So make sure you've cleaned out the immediate area before you go through a yellow door. This next tip is going to make you sail through nightmare mode and make nightmare mode a cakewalk, which is another way of saying it's easy. I don't know why people say cakewalk, because cake is, I don't know. Now, some people might disagree with this, but it's a totally legit feature in Doom the Dark Ages. You can select the hardest difficulty in the game, which is Nightmare, in the settings. Now you can then modify Nightmare mode using all of these parameters and make it actually easier functionally than the easiest mode in the game. So I'm putting the damage to the player right down, damage to the demons right up, enemy aggression down. I'm putting you know, daze duration on maximum and all of this stuff. It's going to make the game ridiculously easy despite being the toughest mode. Now you might question, why would you want to do this? Well, for starters, if you play on the toughest mode, which is Nightmare, you unlock this skin, the Conqueror skin, so it's a really good way to get your hands on that. And if you really don't have the skills to play Nightmare mode, which to be honest is a hard mode, then that's an easy way to get the Conqueror skin. By the way, if you are looking to get all of the skins in this game, click the video above because I've got a link to how to get all of the skins in this game in that video. And if you were wondering, you can actually play through the whole game on the easy difficulty, and I don't mean Nightmare with modifiers, I mean the actual easiest difficulty. And then in the last mission, or the last you know, save point in the mission, you can tweak the settings and go right up to Nightmare just on that last bit, and then it still counts that you've completed the game on Nightmare mode. So in other words, you don't have to play through the entire game on Nightmare. You can actually play through the whole game on easy and then just change it to Nightmare at the very last second, and it still counts as doing a whole playthrough on Nightmare mode. That's another way of unlocking the Conqueror skin. But as I say, Nightmare with the modifiers tweaked is actually easier than the easiest mode. One thing I should add is that this doesn't count for Pandemonium difficulty. So if you want to complete this game on Pandemonium, you have to also complete the game by selecting Pandemonium difficulty. So in other words, if you complete the game on Nightmare, that doesn't also unlock the completion for Pandemonium difficulty. Here's something else amazing I found out quite recently, is that there's an unlockable gun in this game, but of course only if you're playing on PC and have access to the console. All you have to do is press the tilde key to bring up the console and type in give space all. So give all with a space in between. This unlocks this gun. This is the Nova and it's incredible. As you can see, this is in the top left quadrant of the weapon wheel, and it shoots out these purple kind of electro bolt things. I don't even know what they are, but they're very powerful indeed. I mean, I can kind of see why they took this out of the game, because as it stands, it's a little unbalanced. It's totally shredding everything, but you can see that it's not even finished, because when you're using this gun, instead of the ammo counter, you can see in the top left of the screen a kind of little red bar, and that counts as the ammo in this game, or I guess it's the energy consumption of this weapon. So they didn't even input the the ammo counter of this gun. That's how unfinished it is. But you can unlock it for yourself. As I say, just type in give all into the console and then enter, and then you'll get this gun. It does run out of ammo quite quickly, so every time you do want to reload, you have to then type give all again, because of course there is no way to pick up ammo for this gun in the game, because the ammo, it doesn't exist. The Nova exists in the chain shot category, so it's basically the alternate version of the chain shot. That's what it's been classed as in the weapon wheel, and that answers a very big question that a lot of players were having. That question is, what is the alternate weapon for the chain shot? Because all of the other weapons in this game have alternate variations. So, for instance, the combat shotgun has the super shotgun variation when you press X on the weapon wheel, and all of the guns that you have do have variants apart from the chain shot. So a lot of people are speculating that this was originally meant to be an alternate version of the chain shot, but it just got cut at the last minute. Another speculation for this weapon is that it's actually going to be introduced in the DLC for the Dark Ages. The DLC hasn't been revealed yet, but I guess if that's true, the Nova weapon just gave us a little sneak peek. On to really underrated upgrades now, and the one that I cannot stress getting enough is the Incendiary upgrade for the combat shotgun. This one is called Smelt. It costs 125 gold, and basically when you apply burn to a demon, they drop armor pickups. The other version of this is called Blast, and when you apply burn with a combat shotgun, you cause demons to explode on death. I don't recommend getting that. I recommend getting Smelts, because as I'm going to show you, it's so useful. You can basically turn enemies into these armor generating machines that just run around producing armor pickups for you. The way you do that is you just throw your shield into them, and as the shield is wearing away inside them and spinning around like a buzzsaw, then you just shoot it with your shotgun and it produces these glowing green armor pickups. But just look at the way they're all emanating out of the enemy. You could just keep on doing that for as long as the enemy is alive. So if you just want more armor, you can keep the enemy alive, keep on throwing your shield into them, then shooting the shield with a combat shotgun, and it will just keep producing armor pickups. Really, really useful. Now, another really useful interplay between the shield and your weapon is the Ricochet upgrade. This is for your Shredder. Now, when you when you throw your shield saw at an enemy, and once again embed that shield saw into them and it's spinning around, shoot your Shredder at them instead of your combat shotgun, and what it will do is bounce those bullets off your shield and onto nearby enemies. Is really, really useful, and as I'm saying really, really useful quite a lot. I need to find a new adjective, but it's also really, really fun, so definitely give that a go. Or you can just team the two together. So as you can see, I've used my Shredder to ping those projectiles off the shield, and then at the end of the battle I'm using my combat shotgun to get those armor pickups at the end. And the poor enemy here is just being kept alive for as long as I can, so I can keep reaping those armor pickups. It really takes some of the fear out of enemies when you're no longer afraid of them killing you. You're actually afraid of them dying, because it means you've lost a source of armor. And actually, to be honest, there's too much armor I found using this method. Like, I'm always at 100% armor, and I'm just ignoring all of the green pickups on the ground because I already have too much. Here's a quick gameplay tip regarding red barrels. Now, I didn't know this for the longest time, especially when I first started this game, but enemies cannot blow up red barrels. You see that projectile just going right through it. Enemies can't blow it up. The only person who can blow up red barrels is you. And what you can do is use that to your advantage. So you can kick it right in the middle of a group of enemies, then blow it up, and look how much damage you do. Before I actually learned this, it took me an embarrassingly long amount of time before I started being aware of this. But the red barrels, I was staying away from them for ages. I was just thinking, I can't get near them. There's so much gunfire. Enemies are just going to blow it up in my face. So I need to get to them first. So I was just like shooting them as soon as I saw them. But when I realized that enemy projectiles weren't actually damaging them, I was like, okay, let me start playing with this. And what I was doing is just kicking around all the barrels, 2 or 3 or 4 barrels, putting them in a pile and then blowing them up there. And honestly, you save ammo, you do a ton of damage, and it's just really fun to see big explosions. Here's something a lot of people who first started playing Doom the Dark Ages didn't know. There are glory kills in this game. Probably old news to some of the more diehard fans, but yes, you can do glory kills. I saw a lot of people in the reviews mention that you couldn't do this, but you can. All you have to do is jump when you're doing a finishing move. So in other words, jump as you click the right stick in on controller, and you'll pull off one of 2 glory moves. So these 2 glory moves are one from the front and one from the back. And I believe every enemy has at least 2 glory moves to pull off, and each of those 2 are unique. I think maybe 1 or 2 enemies have 3 glory kills you can pull off, or glory moves, however you want to say it. But you can do these glory kills, and they're really, really fun to use as well. I can see why the Doom devs took this move out, because in the first game, you had to do them, and I don't think you had a choice in doing them. It would just slow down the game as you did all these glory kills and enemies. But here, they're actually giving you the option to use it, which I like a lot better. You don't have to slow the game down and just pull off a glory kill when you don't want to. Now I'm talking about a really good tip for doing challenges, and what you can do, and I've seen a lot of people missing this, is that you can actually pin challenges to your screen. So pick one of your 3 challenges, then press X to pin it. Now I've pinned the Exterminator challenge, and you can track the progress of this on the left hand side of your screen. The objective for this challenge is to destroy 2 gore nests. So as you can see, I've just done one of these gore nests, and that counts towards me getting a new skin, one of my weapons, this being the Revenant skin. So not only can you track your progress, but it also helps you keep on top of things and just keeps your eye on the prize, and you can know exactly what challenge you're trying to get. I like to take these challenges one by one, so rather than going back to that pause menu and looking at the 3 challenges, I'll pick one at a time and work my way towards that one, and then pick another one and do it that way. However, there is another extra challenge that's quite hidden away, and it only unlocks when you've fully upgraded a weapon. I'll give you an example of this when I fully upgraded my combat shotgun, which took, there are 3 ranks, and you have to use gold and rubies and the purple sapphires, or whatever you want to call them, the purple gems. You unlock this mastery challenge, and this one is called Barrel Stuffer, and what this is hit demons with every pellet from combat shotgun shots. You have to do this 150 times, so these do take quite a long time to do, but the rewards, are really worth it. I got really excited for the rewards, because when you do these mastery challenges, you unlock the Conqueror skins for that weapon. The Conqueror skin being that gleaming gold skin you get for completing it on Nightmare difficulty. Now imagine, if you will, a full set of Conqueror armor, complete with all of your weapons having Conqueror skins. I cannot imagine that. Must be incredible. I can only dream of it, but if you have unlocked that, I would love to see it, so let me know down in the comments if you've done that, and that's quite an achievement. So if you have, well done to you. Here's a bit of basic but no less effective shield tech for this game, or some cool shield moves. What you can do is when you throw the shield, maneuver behind an enemy, and that shield will actually come from behind them and home into your hand and take them out that way. So instead of hitting them from the front, hit them from behind as the shield returns to your hand. It's really useful to do it that way, so you can just throw it and then strafe to the side of them, and the shield will find its way to you en route, killing everything that stands in its way. That's really fun. Another technique is calling your shield back to you instantly. So throw the shield with LB and then you can call it back whenever you want with LT. So you don't have to wait for it to come back, you can call it back in a split second or wait a few seconds whenever you want. And the last shield tip is you can bounce it like Captain America. Yes, you can deflect it between all the enemies or even off walls in a short space, in a short vicinity, and it will just ping off all of them and get you loads of damage, and in this case, as you saw, loads of armor pickups. Moving on to more endgame tips now. So if you're approaching the end of Doom the Dark Ages and you want some upgrades that are going to help you through the latter stages of this game, I really suggest getting Fragments. This is a upgrade for the grenade launcher, and what this does is every third direct hit with a grenade launcher drops cluster grenades that deal extra damage. That's really useful, but also you can also get Rupture, and this one is it's kind of like a synergy with the shield saw once again. So launch your shield saw into an enemy, and when you fire a grenade into them, that produces further cluster grenades. In essence, what you're doing is just multiplying your grenades and therefore multiplying your damage. In later stages, actually in all stages of this game, you're always going to be assaulted by dozens if not hundreds of enemies, so the more firepower and the more AoE damage you're doing, the better, and the grenade launcher is the perfect way to do that. Another combo that really helped me out in the late stages of this game is the chain shot, the shield saw, and the mace. So these three weapons in conjunction are just stupidly powerful. You can use any combo of your choice, of course, because this game is all about the creativity of violence, but for me personally, I really love these three weapons. So what I do is I launch the shield saw, then I charge up the chain shot, and then I swing away with the mace, and enemies just totally melt under fire from these three weapons. Really, really fun to use, and I mean, that is Doom all over, just doing as much damage in crazy ways as you can. Do not be afraid of purchasing upgrades as and when you want, for the reason that you can always switch at any point. So for instance, with a combat shotgun, you can switch between these two upgrades at any point. This is Smelt and Blast. So in essence, you're actually buying two upgrades for the cost of one. Yeah, before I just thought, okay, I have to pick between one of these. It's quite a hard choice, but yeah, just go into the settings at any point. You don't even have to be, you know, at the menu screen. You can just switch between them. And that goes for the shield and the melee as well. So all of your weapons, you can switch between the power gauntlet and the mace at any point. You're never locked in. So that's a really good feature of this game. Another thing, just more general upgrade advice, is what I recommend doing when you're first playing this game is to upgrade the shield and your melee weapon. And the reason for that is the shield is something you'll always have in this game. You have it from minute one until the very last second of Doom the Dark Ages. So the shield is something that you just want to, you're going to want to have as powerful as possible. The guns you're going to want to leave till a bit later on, because you might find a gun that you really don't like and you've upgraded it, and then you've just wasted all your gold and all of your gems on that gun that you don't use. So yeah, upgrade your shield, upgrade your melee, and then when you find a gun that you do use, then just pour all of your resources into that. And what I'm going to do is end on three of my favourite Easter eggs for this game. The first one is when you die in lava, you actually do a little thumbs up. And this, of course, is a reference to Terminator 2. If you haven't seen that movie, I really suggest you do that, because at the end, the Terminator is descending into lava and he gives his human friend a little thumbs up. The second Easter egg is a pair of wanted posters in the first level of the game, and these two guys that you see in these wanted posters are actually developers at id Software. So This guy right here is Hugo Martin on the right, sporting a long mane of luxurious hair, so looking slightly different than he does in real life. But Hugo Martin is a game director at id Software, and he's been there since 2018. Now, the guy on the left I don't actually recognize, so if you do, let me know down in the comments who you think this man is. And the last Easter egg is not really an Easter egg, it's just a cool little detail, but I really like how when you shoot enemy arms off, the enemies are still alive, they are just really irate with you. Love that little effect, and I can't help doing it. Anyway, those are some advanced tips for Doom: The Dark Ages. Let me know what you think of the video down in the comments, and if you enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel for more videos like this one.